Hello and welcome to ChangeTube. Today you will see how to realize a communication plan as part of a change project. In the overall scheme of change management, communication is considered as a lever that comes into play after the diagnosis phase and impact study. If you haven't watched my corresponding videos, make sure to check them out. I recommend you to take some notes to keep up. Let's go! As you already know, a change project is a projection in time of a reality in the making. What this reality will look like is shaped by communication, which sets out the destination and the path to get there. Communication allows us to visualize the objectives and therefore to take ownership of them. Depending on the project, communication is more or less important and takes on institutional, information, or training forms. As the sociologist Paul Watzlawick said, it is impossible not to communicate. Behavior, gestures, and mimics are certainly not words, but they send messages. These messages can be interpreted differently. This is why it is extremely important in a change project to make sure that the message communicated is well understood. First, start by positioning your communication. To do this, you will need to map out the stakeholders in the change project and define their expectations in terms of communication for each category of people involved. Also, note the resistance to the project already identified as well as the main messages to be communicated, including the necessary media. Be careful, these charts are only necessary for the main actors of the project, not for the whole company. That will be a real waste of time and energy. The positioning of communication is also a marketing activity. To avoid hearing, "They are hiding things from us, we don't understand where we are going," from the beginning of the project, give elements of identification like a name, slogan, or logo. You can create a positioning matrix. The goal is to identify the positive and negative parts of the project, to distinguish the strong and credible ideas to communicate, and to propose expressions and slogans. A presentation is generally appreciated here so that the majority of people become aware of the project, its goals, and the way it will be achieved. At the same time, you can produce classic communication media such as posters, websites, blogs, forums, newsletters, email, conferences, meetings, etc. All these media can be classified into three categories: institutional documents, information documents, and meetings. These media are organized according to each category of stakeholders and following a schedule in relation with the project deadlines. The result is called a communication plan. Remember to evaluate your communication plan regularly and modify it if necessary. Finally, to end this video, consider a few communication traps to avoid. Using language or jargon that is not shared or understood by your stakeholders. A poorly formalized written or oral communication support. Using blocking arguments which can really hinder a project. To give too much information, please focus. To formulate paradoxical instructions such as "be creative while scrupulously respecting the instructions." Remember, by being attentive to others and their needs, By showing empathy and collegiality, communication is facilitated optimally. So, get started and good luck! Well, thank you for watching, and let's change together. Bye bye!